Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Force Alliance. We have a 1v1 here for you guys between Mr. Smith and Carlos. We've got Canis River 4v4. This is a ranked game. And both players chose Cybern. So to go through the countries, Mr. Smith is from Austria and Carlitos is from Portugal. Both with very high ratings, both are very good players. And Cybern is a good faction for this map. Well, actually, Cybern is a good faction for pretty much any map, but we'll see how they do here. And Carlos is going to go after the Hydra quick. That's a standard build here. Same thing for Mr. Smith. Smith just went with 3 mexes, and then Hydra with ACU. He's rushing that Hydra extremely quickly is Smith. And then he's probably going to be expanding into corners with his engineers. Actually sending 2 engineers to that side. Actually, no, now he split them up. No, he's still sending 2 engineers down here, so he wants to get those mask extractors quickly, it seems. Might as well send this one down here. No reason to send them both to the same area. But he has. Carlos is immediately planning on gigantic land spam, which is predictable. This map is good for that. Looks like there's no replay thing here. So this replay is a bit older. Still very recent, but a bit older. So that's why there's no live mass and energy income. But we can do without that. This is old-fashioned, I guess you could call it. It looks like Smith has a build order figured out for this map because he's sending engineers to different spots very deliberately. You would not do this if you were playing randomly, like I usually do. But in any case, Smith is he has got 2 land factories and making a lot of hydros. So here you don't really need as many pigeons as you might think because there's 4 hydros that you can get your hands on. So that's 400 power right there. That's more than enough for an early land spam. And here grabbing map control is very important because there's lots of reclaim available for anyone who can capture the map. There's huge amounts of reclaim up here, a little bit up here, and some more on these hills and down there. Definitely want to take advantage of that reclaim. Even in 4v4, this reclaim is extremely important. You can get mask extractor upgrades immediately with that reclaim. I have Carlitos making land factors with his ACU, and Smith is also staying put with his ACU. So I guess on this map, people like to stay at their bases with their ACU, and we've up to 4 minutes and no fighting at all. Like, not even a single shot. It's the first time any of the players has actually seen what the other has. And Carlitos is making an anti-air turret immediately. He does not want to get bombed by Smith, which isn't going to happen because Smith is being very defensive, making interceptors. Now, let's see a radar here. And this radar is very well placed, actually, from Smith. It's hard to kill in this little ravine here. And another good radar from him. So Smith has radar coverage everywhere. And a point defense here when there's no units at all. Well, actually, there are a few, so this might be a nice idea from Smith, but it's always painful to see people making point defenses and torpedo launchers and such for no apparent reason when there's nothing coming up. And Smith definitely has a build order figured out for this map because he's playing perfectly here. Just knows exactly what he's doing. He's got a nice little formation for his air factories here. So, some nice raiders from Carlitos, but there is nothing there. He's probably just anticipating something. He's got his own engineer up here, so Carlos is a bit ahead in capturing the map. Still just has his ACU working on a land spam back at base. He just got raided by Smith, and he's going to... Actually, Smith, yeah, he's going to split his manti up, and he's going to push north, and it's going to be a question of whether this finishes the mask extractor. It's not really that important, but this Mantis will get a few more kills regardless. Yeah, it probably won't finish that mask extractor. So, now I was complaining about this point defense earlier, but now it's going to be perfect. Carlitos is raiding without scouting, and this is what happens. He's getting his manti absolutely demolished here. He's going to try to retreat now, but he's already taken a lot of losses. 7 kills. Yeah, 7 kills for that point defense now. Some raiding from Smith, trying to come up through the middle, but Carlitos reacts. And he's going to defend it. I assume he's going to defend it. And some nice defense from Carlitos on the left-hand side of the map, and he's going to continue grabbing map control. Still a little bit ahead of Smith because of this top ledge up here from Carlitos, making point defenses of his own to protect his little expansion. Smith at Tech 2 with his ACU making T2 power, so I wonder what his plan is, because he seems to be going for a very big economy, while Carlitos is spamming much harder than Smith is. So here comes Carlitos down the middle, and Smith doesn't really have that much land to stop him. Smith has total air control, so he's going to use bombers against Carlitos' force, but it's going to be very interesting. This is going to be Cybern, but it's going to be land versus air here, because there's no way that with this amount of build capacity, and he's actually just making all engineers here. Now going Tech 2 land is Smith, so Smith playing very risky here. But when Carlitos bunches his units up like that, they're perfect targets for the splash of the Cybern bombers. What the hell just happened there? If someone can explain that to me, I will be very grateful, because that was ridiculous. And yeah, there's no way that Smith can stay here. He's got to continue pushing, and this Mantis, this is on very low HP here. He's getting chased by whole army here. And now he's going to try to take out that mass point, but he didn't stay focused on it, and that's the end of that little Mantis. I can't, what the fuck? Okay. Well, with enough bombers, it seems like you can easily take care of these land units. Smith now making even more economy in his base, making a shield. So what is he doing here? Now going up to T3 land. And from the way he's going now, he'll probably make a T3 engine and make T3 power. That's a guess, because I haven't seen this. And I honestly have no clue what Smith is doing right now. Just kind of making a huge economy for himself while Carlitos is spamming his brains out and not really having too much success. Lots of bombers that are doing good work for Smith since he has total air domination. Carlitos doesn't seem to care too much about his air presence. He's only got one air factory and not too much build capacity on it. Huge power spam from Carlitos as well. So I'm really curious to see what he makes out of this factory first. He's up to T3 within 11 minutes, and he's actually making bricks, so not T3 NGs. Now jesters are going to be used against land forces as well. And all of these bombers are now being used against Carlitos' main base, and they're going after the power, and it looks like they're not going to quite manage to take it out. Carlitos is going to waste quite a bit of mass and energy to repair it. Didn't quite manage to take out that T2 power. And this Jester is doing some nice raiding for Smith. Just a single unit causing a lot of damage. He's going to take out a lot of mass retractors here on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, we've got a huge force from Carlitos coming in, but I didn't see any flak in there, so it's easy prey for any air units that come along. Smith now making Tech 2 air as well as T3 land, and still using his Jesters to raid, taking out packs of engineers with these bombers, taking out the build capacity of Carlitos, and these Jesters are just all over the place, taking out small chunks of economy, but that does add up later, because each one of these is 2 mass, so once you take out 5 of them, that's 10 mass that your opponent could have that they don't, and all it took was a single Jester and almost no micro, so it's definitely worth it. Actually, he could probably push in and kill one of these. If he killed this one, which is on low HP, it would be absolutely brutal. And he is going after these mass tractors here. They're working on T2 mass tractors. So if this one goes down, it's going to be a huge loss for Carlitos. And indeed, I think it is going to go down before it reaches. It's very close, 98%. And that one was also very close. But that's very irritating for Carlitos to have to deal with. And no flak at all whatsoever, not in the slightest. This Renegade is going to have a field day. It's probably going to kill every single one of these land units here. And I want to see what Smith has planned, because he has no land, and he's getting demolished in terms of map control. Carlitos is forming a concave around Smith's base, and on Canis River, that's never good. And Carlitos is going to catch up in terms of economy. It seems his score is almost as good as Smith's now, because Carlitos has been taking over the map, not just sitting in his base. And this is RAS. Carlitos is making RAS with his ACU at T2. He's supposed to be taking up his entire economy. Yeah, that was a squeeze, but he does have RAS now, and he can start killing off his Tech 1 power. He doesn't need it anymore because he's got a huge surplus. I mean, he's leaking 5,000. He can start killing all this off and reclaiming it. And bricks now versus Tech 1. It's not really much of a contest. So actually, this is a really nice play by Smith. He's not really too worried about spamming up T1. He just made the units that work. He's got T3 land and gunships, and he's taking care of business on the land front. Actually, Carlitos is gonna have to figure out something fast. He's got T3 land of his own, but he's not gonna be able to kill these bricks with Tech 1, that's for sure. Now he just needs some reclaiming engineers from Smith. That's a lot of mass there, probably about 2k. It's enough to make a few more bricks. Smith is about to get Tech 3 on his ACU, so he's gonna get Tech 3 air, Tech 3 land, and Tech 3 on his ACU. The only thing left would be Tech 3 Navy, and he could put it right there. No, make Tech 3 battleships right in the middle of the map and kill everything. It'd be so funny. Cyber destroyers on this map would be hilarious. I might actually try that. If I'm on this map in ranked and I'm Cybern, I might build some Cybern destroyers. Of course, that's probably just a dream there, but it would be pretty nice. And T3 mass tractors for Smith, making a lot of them. And this is a lot of renegades here, just because the potential to wipe out an entire army if he doesn't have flak in it. But I saw some T2 flak from Carlitos earlier, so he should be able to deal with gunships. And just scouts from Smith so far. Of course, one thing we have to keep in mind is that with the new patch, T3 flak, shit, always when I'm recording. That hasn't happened in a while, but in any case, back to the game. It's a little bit embarrassing because none of the other casters have that happen to them. Remember, it happened to TA ones. It seems to happen to me in every other cast. Just a massive economy from Smith, playing the macro game very well. And now he's got 2 T3 power gens. What is his surplus now? He's leaking 4,000, so once again, he doesn't need his T1 P gens either. He can easily kill those off and reclaim them. So what I was saying was the T3 surface-to-air missile launchers are much stronger now in with the new patch. They have some area of effect damage, and that makes them very strong against packs of ASF. Today I had a game where I had 3 times more ASF than my opponent. That's seriously what it was. I had about 100 and he had 30, but he had a few SAMs in his base and he ended up winning the air fight because I couldn't do anything. It was retarded. I really do not like the new change with the SAM, but someone came up with that idea and it's now ruining the air game. And it's literally worthless to win air now because the other guy is just gonna build like 5 SAMs and be totally safe. I have Carlitos making some T3 SAMs of his own to try and stop the strap bombers. And these T1 interceptors can actually kill off this ASF if they want to. So that was a lot of fire right there. When you have this many interceptors, they can actually take on a few ASF at once. Smith just making even more economy. And I'm curious to see what he's going to do next. Because Carlitos actually has a better score than him now, which means he has a better economy. We're about to have Omni for Smith. He's going to be able to see the entire map now. I'm sure that he has total map coverage now. Yeah, he can see everything. And a spider bot is being worked on by Carlitos. Oh yeah, and people said that I need to stop spazzing out with zooming in and out. I haven't really been worried too much about that, but I'll try to make up for it now. And in the next video, I'll try not to zoom in and out as much. We have got bricks from Smith, and they've come out the side, and this is going to be very difficult. They've taken out a lot of economy here for Carlitos. He's trying to push them back with bricks of his own. Some nice positioning on the hill here. Those bricks from Smith are going to hide in the water where they're totally safe. is a lot of hives from Carlitos. This is a lot of build capacity you can use on this air factor. So if Carlitos has the power to support this, which he might or he might not, he has 12,000 power, so that's quite a bit. If he has enough power to support all these hives on this air factor, he'll easily win back air control. He can't really be outproduced at this point. Carlitos still just making T3 mass extractors and ecoing really hard. Not really much in it at this point. We have packs of bricks for both players running around the map. And if this radar goes down for Carlitos, it's going to be devastating. He just got it to T3. And if that gets killed, which it won't because these bricks, actually no, the bricks are moving back now. 4v1 in terms of bricks, it's impossible for the one brick. Bricks are too strong anyway. You can't really micro against them. You can see they're just frying these mass extractors. And T1 has absolutely no chance at all. I mean, not even 1,000 T1 units would have any chance at this point. They would just get mowed down. Carlitos getting a ridiculous build capacity up and running, but he's lost so much economy here. He's lost some T2 maxes down here, lost some more up here, trying to rebuild them. And Smith is gonna make a T3 power when he's working on a Monkey Lord of his own. At this point his economy is so good that he can basically insta-spam anything. You see 275 mass income. How many T3 maxes he's got? He's got 10 of them. So it's not going to be a problem to upgrade the rest of them either. This is a really ridiculous game. You see now the air spam is in full commence for Carlitos. I'm not sure if that was a real phrase. Someone has to check that for me. And the spider bot is up and running for Carlitos. This brick has no chance. It's going to get fried, although the beam is missing. What the hell? Finally gets killed. Should have been killed a lot sooner than that. And now it's going to be up to which player has air control, because they're both going to have spiders momentarily. And it's going to be about who can kill off the other spider first. So this is not as much build capacity as Carlitos has, so pretty soon Carlitos will take over air. As you can see how fast he's making that strap bomber. And Carlitos is cleaning up everywhere. We've got a 5v3 here, so I expect Carlitos to win this. With bricks, it's really about who has more. And Carlitos definitely had more there. He hasn't lost a single brick. Some of them are low on health, but this is a really nice field of reclaim here that someone needs to get. And now we've got spider bots for both players, and Carlitos wisely does not send his in. He knows it's probably going to get killed by something. And lots of strap bombers for Carlitos being amassed here. That has the potential to actually kill Smith, I think. Smith is working on a nuke now. A nuke at minute 27. Does he have nuke defense, though? So Smith is going the dangerous route, getting a nuke before a nuke defense. Oh, that can work if you scout often. But Carlitos already does have a nuke defense up and running, so no way that Smith will be able to nuke him anytime soon. Although maybe a nuke up here would work. Let's see the range on this. Yeah, the range goes out to here. So that's actually some really nice coverage. I mean, the best he could do is right here, and that wouldn't take out too much. Just a few T3 mass extractors. But it got spammed up really fast here by Smith. And if he assists it really hard, maybe he can get it before the anti-nuke gets spammed up. But that's just going to be a gamble. He probably doesn't want to gamble that much. See just how quickly he's getting these T3 maxes now that he's got a ridiculous economy up and running. And T3 sonar as well for Smith. It's interesting. Maybe he's concerned that there's some sort of threat in the water. Or maybe he's concerned about something coming around the side here, and then this sonar would detect it, but I don't see why that would happen. Probably has total coverage of all the water, so you can probably see all the way out to there. So the T3 sonar has a lot of range. It's going to be very close between these bricks, and Carlitos is probably just going to come out on top here, but strap bombers are going to clean it up a second later. So Smith almost saved that brick there, but didn't quite. And a megalith being spammed up by Carlitos now. So we're into the experimental stage. Well, we've been in the experimental stage for a while. Monkeys for both players sitting at their bases. 1 kill now for Smith, 3 for Carlitos. Getting air kills. That's strange for a monkey lord. And nothing is happening here, which is pretty boring. Smith working on his nuke, but the nuke defense is almost loaded, so it's going to put an end to that fun. Where did those strap bombers go? Oh, they're hiding in the corner, and they're on stealth, so this is nice from Carlitos. He's going to use those later if he can. So this is a really compact base from Smith. A nuke here could probably devastate him, maybe right there, and it would take out all his power, really. Now Hive is being produced for Smith as well. He wants to catch up in terms of build capacity. And Smith had the advantage for most of the early game, but he's pretty much thrown that away now. Anyone can win this at this point, and Carlitos is more than halfway done in his megalith. That's going to be difficult. And now we're going to see an air fight here. And Carlitos is a Setton's veteran, so he's probably going to have the better air micro. Did get shot in the back a little bit there, but he has more ASF anyway. He doesn't have any power, it seems. And Carlitos is stalling hard on power. Too many hives and not enough P-gens. So he's going to win air, and once Carlitos has air, he can start bombing against Smith. And now a Scathus for Smith. So a Scathus when your opponent doesn't really have any power is actually a good move. He's going to start devastating Carlitos. This is assuming he actually gets that finished. How much does a Scathus cost these days? I'm going to slow this down to 0 actually. Scathus costs 63,000, so it's not as much of an investment as it was a few years ago. Back on GP, actually for a while it was almost 300,000 ever since the beginning of FA, and they changed it a little bit ago to what it is today, which is very cheap. But it's not as good because it doesn't have infinite range like it did on in the original version of FA. So you can get it easier, but you have to move it into position and protect it. And it doesn't have that much health, just 17,000, which isn't that much for an experimental. Not as bad as the Paragon though, with 5k. So 2 T3 factories for Carlitos, and that equals a ridiculous air spam. There's no way he's going to lose air at this point. And it's going to come down to how this Scathus is used for Mr. Smith. It's a very unfortunate prick there. Oh god. Feel sorry for the guy in there. Or insect, or whatever the Cyberns use to pilot their little robots. So Smith has already set a queue for this nuke to fire. And is this within the range of Carlitos' anti? Oh wow, that is just barely within the range. So that might land if it's shot. And here we go with the Scathus from Smith. What kind of range does this have? Oh, does it only reach out to there, or is that the minimum range? Can't really tell, but it's not shooting, so it's gonna have to move. I think it's gonna have to move within range of Carlitos' base. The megalith is almost done though. We've got a T2 air production here from Carlitos. Now the nuke has been fired, and it's gonna be very interesting here because if you hit it on the edge of the nuke defense, I'm not sure if the missile will reach there in time. So this is gonna be a decisive moment in this game. Will this nuke actually land on Carlitos' head? It's going to be extremely close here. And the missile, is it going to launch? It does not. The nuke is going to land. Oh, that was close. Oh, man. Anyway, Carlitos has just lost half his base. That was extremely close there. I knew it would be close, but not that close. Nuke defense fired just after the nuke landed. So 154 kills for Smith's nuke now. I don't think he has the power to support a Scathus firing. You need quite a bit of power to support the rapid shells, and that's a huge hole in Carlitos' base, but he has not lost anything vital. He's got his power and his air production, which is really what he's been relying on. So he's going to be able to continue his air spam. As long as he rebuilds these mechs within a reasonable time frame, he'll be in good shape, because he cannot be nuked here. And this Scathus is on the move now. And he has to be very careful with all these T2 bombers. 20 Corsairs or so could take this out, and then that would be very devastating for Smith. Of course, then he could build the next one right on top of it and get it at half price, but it's not gonna be pretty if he loses that Scathus. And Carlitos is just about to finish this Megalith. He's been working on it for a while, and once he has that with air control, it's gonna be very hard to stop. Because Carlitos has air control unquestionably. He has, how many ASF is this? 110 ASF. Smith has 42. Carlitos doesn't even need to be spamming these anymore. He can just make bombers. He has more than twice as much. Actually, maybe 2.5 times as much as Smith does. More Omnis up for Carlitos. Actually, that's a new one because he lost the old one. Megalith now up and running. He needs to move that. Got a Soothsayer planned as well. And now all these bombers have been discovered. If Smith was looking, he'll know. And since Cybern have no mobile shields, it's going to be extremely difficult to protect this Scathus, if not impossible. Carlitos has scouted it, so he should be moving these bombers into position. This is enough Corsairs to kill it for sure. So, I mean, Smith is going to have to make shields, stationary shields around this. It's not going to work out. So I doubt this Scathus is going to get anywhere. I have the strap bombers coming in now from Carlitos. Although they're not targeting the Scathus. Where are they going? Why is he not taking that out? I don't understand. Here they come after Smith's base. What are they shooting? What is this? They're going after power here. So that was kind of painful, but the Scathus was right there. Dude, oh, come on. Going after power instead. And actually not getting any kills whatsoever. That was an extremely large fail by that was just a massive fail by Carlitos. All those bombers could have taken that Scathus out so easily, but it didn't happen. This spider is going to try it, but these bricks will easily stop a spider. That's enough bricks right there. And this Megalith is not moving out of its base. This is a big mistake from Carlitos. So Carlitos is kind of falling apart here. He had this game won, I think, if he had sniped that Scathus with all those bombers, maybe the T2 bombers, and if he had managed to kill anything here, he was in a winning position. But now it's kind of slipping away from him. Is if this Scathus starts shooting at his base, it's going to be quite painful. Cybern shields are awful, and the Scathus shoots very quickly indeed. Why is it not shooting though? It is being hit by Corsairs now. He's going to have to protect it as best he can. It is within range of Carlitos' base. Not sure why it's not firing. He's got a brick coming in as well. This is a nice play from him. Megalith is finally moving out. These Corsairs are going to try, but here come the shells from the Scathus here at minute 39. And depending on how much damage he does here, this could or could not be a game winner. This Megalith is going to have to reverse to take out this brick that's killing off mass extractors again. Corsairs coming in. Why is Smith not protecting his Scathus? In any case, we're going to watch the destruction here. Some nice pink shells being lobbed into Carlitos' base. And this was all preventable. He had the opportunity to snipe it that he just didn't take. And now he's paying the price for it with his entire base pretty much. If he starts losing power, the game is over. Although a spider now in Smith's base, and this could target his ACU and end the game. Smith needs to be running away from it. He can't be... Oh, this is terrible. Run away from the spider. Don't chase it. No, Smith. Oh god, this is gonna be extremely close. We've got nukes now flying from Smith, going after Carlitos' base once again. Is the nuke defense gonna be taken out by the Scathus? But oh man, this is gonna be ridiculously close. Is another overcharge will do it. The spider does go down. Smith is now wide out in the open. He's open to bomber strikes. The Scathus will probably get killed here by all these bombers. It's literally impossible for... Oh, the shells are hitting the bombers and taking them out mid-air. It's crazy stuff. An absolutely insane game here as we approach minute 41. Another nuke does successfully hit Carlitos' base. Both players have basically wiped each other's bases out. Scath is on very low HP here, going down to 4k. It's in the red. These might finish it off. No, that's not enough. And the Flak and Sams are taking out every single one of Carlitos' ASF. Veterancy now for the Scathis as Carlitos' base comes under attack. But it's not over yet as Carlitos has this megalith that he can use to try and finish the game off. He should probably think about retreating into the water, because right now his base is at big risk. It's very close here to losing the Scathis is Smith. 110 kills for it. Carlitos has basically lost his air force. He's got some more ASF up here, so he's still got air control. Just needs to move this megalith in and finish the game off, because Smith doesn't have anything to stop it. As long as he keeps his base alive for now. This Scathis is now out of range, actually. Yeah, this is as far as it goes. So Carlitos has a window now, and if he can use this megalith to win the game, then he'll pull a win out of a very strange position here. So an absolutely epic game here. Thank you for sending me this game. I won't say who sent it to me because well, I just won't tell you, because I'm sneaky like that. Trying to rebuild is Smith, but Carlitos could have won earlier with that spider if he had just targeted Smith's ACU. And now this Scath is going to die for sure. Yeah, the Scath is finally killed. No more threat to Carlitos' base. And now with bricks and the megalith moving in, the game is over. I mean, really. Well, no, it's not. This game will continue as Smith is about to finish his own megalith. So this game is not over. Both players have done ridiculous damage to each other's bases, and it still continues at minute 43. Scores are almost identical. This is an absolutely insane game here. And what is it going to be here? These bricks need to move in and support. The megalith will take care of these bricks now. It's impossible to kill megaliths. They literally can survive anything because they have, you know, a billion HP. Carlitos making his own Scathis now. And it all comes down to the fact that he did not lose these power gens, and he's able to continue his air production. We've got a spider and a megalith though from Smith, so if he plays this right, he'll be able to take us out. But all these bricks are going to make a big impact on this battle here. Carlitos needs to figure out what's going on here, because it is now a megalith on megalith fight, and he needs to use his air control here. He doesn't want to get strap bombered, and this spider is having trouble on the hill. He's stuck. These bricks here are going to make an impact on the game, but with air control for Carlitos, I don't see why he's not just spamming up some strap bombers to try and win. I mean, now this is going to be very close, but the spider is coming in, and if this targets the megalith, it's going to make the difference, I think. Yeah, this megalith will eventually go down for Carlitos, but with so much tanking ability, both megaliths will go down. Veterancy at the very last second. And Carlitos will continue to push through with these bricks. And I think we can safely say that with all these experimentals destroyed and with the bricks surviving, Carlitos is in a winning position here. He just needs to target fire Smith's ACU and not get overcharged. Just target him and use bombers as well. Just take everything and target his ACU. This is just not good. Carlitos is just wasting so many chances to win the game, although he has played very well this whole time. Strap bombers now from Carlitos. Still not targeting the ACU of Smith. Just has so many opportunities to win that he's not taking. Still trying to take out power here with these Tech 1 units. Still can't believe the Tech 1 units are being used at minute 45 and having success. They're going to take out this power. Massive explosion there. T1 PD is trying to be spammed up by Smith, but that was a very big loss. Lots of reclaimables now for Smith though, and if he still has power, which he does, he can still continue his experimental spam, because Carlitos doesn't have any experimentals to reinforce, so we've still got this game that's going to continue. His Tech 1 units are certainly not going to win the game at this point. So, this is a lot of HP. What does Smith have? This is, oh, I understand. This is why Carlitos hasn't been targeting him. Smith has stealth and cloak on his ACU. Unbelievable. When did he get that? I have no clue. But nevertheless, he has it. And Carlitos will not be able to find him. That's the simple truth. Smith is going to be sitting here, and Carlitos will not be able to target him. So Smith needs to use his build capacity to make more experimentals while he's got all this reclaimable. He's got 2 megaliths and a spider to reclaim. So how much is that? 30 plus 30 plus 20. So 70k mass there. That's enough for 2 more megaliths actually. And the reason why it's only 2 is because Rex are not as much as the unit that they died from. It's like 81% or something. So game has finally calmed down here at minute 46. This is definitely a good one. Actually a great one. So hope you guys have watched all the way until now. And what is the deal here? We've got a T3 RD installation from Smith now. Not sure if that's the best choice here because Cybern RD doesn't have any damage at all, but does have pretty good firing rate. So against Cybern shields, I guess it is a pretty good move. But with Carlitos still having air control, that has to be the priority for Smith. He has to try and win air back because he's just opened himself up to bombing attacks by Carlitos. So air crashes. That almost took out the Omni. That would have been ridiculous if that air crash had taken out Smith's Omni. And just rebuilding some T3 power now is Smith. And is he having mass problems or not? This is just unacceptable from Smith. He has a megalith sitting next to his ACU, which is a T3. He could easily reclaim that and solve all his mass problems. And he's letting Carlitos reclaim the Scathis. So he's got 4 massive wrecks here. Now finally reclaiming the megalith. That's going to solve his problems for sure. See a massive increase in mass there. But he can't allow Carlitos to reclaim any of this. Just make a Tech 1 bomber and kill that, or use this brick or something. Maybe he's not paying attention. Actually, he's got huge amounts of wrecks. He's got a spider back here as well. Just enough mass to make a ridiculous amount of experimentals of his own. But he should just be focusing on this disruptor, which he is. He's using the hives to make it, so it's coming up pretty fast. All he needs to do is maintain his mass balance, and that's going to be easy to do with these experimentals. So he's reclaimed 42,000 by now. Carlitos has reclaimed 45,000, so dead even on reclaim. Although this is just bizarre. Carlitos should not be getting mass from that wreck. Though I guess using 1 NG is pretty good because it's sneaky. And Carlitos wouldn't be able to see this ACU even if he did have visual on it because it has stealth and cloak. So it's absolutely undetectable except for Omni. Yeah, so you need a spy plane or an actual Omni installation to see that. Also another ACU could see that. So now finally, this mass thief has been killed. So Smith can actually walk into the open without fear because Carlitos obviously can't target him. And now we're going to see a T3 Artie here before minute 49. And what is going to happen now? Now we have T3 bombers, lots of them from Carlitos. This is a ton of T3 bombers. And that's going to be very dangerous for Smith. Smith is going to have to do a lot of damage with this disruptor before the bombers reach his base. But here they come. And Smith has almost no ASF. He has this one air superiority fighter. And this is really weird right here. And he might lose his T3 RD as soon as he builds it. I mean, this is just... But it's not being targeted. Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious. It stays alive. That lucky son of a bitch. You see the AoE on the SEMs just absolutely raped those strap bombers. And now this disruptor somehow survived, and it's going to do a lot of damage now to Carlitos' base. Spider now running around for Carlitos at minute 49:22. But this disruptor is going to have to start firing, which it does. You see the fire rate is actually really good on it. So I'm expecting more damage to happen to Carlitos' base. And earlier the Scathis could not reach back here, but the disruptor certainly can. Carlitos is going to be nervous about that. Is the nuke still alive? It is, and it's about to be loaded. So you can imagine if this takes out the nuke defense, which is the logical move. More strap armors coming in from Carlitos. Is this going to be the pass? Is this going to do it? No, it doesn't. The shield comes on at just the right moment, so somehow Smith keeps that alive. And if this falls, Carlitos is going to lose his air production. If the shields go down, he might lose his power. These are just bad times for Carlitos. Although he's got a spare nuke defense up here, so if Smith doesn't see that, then Carlitos could do pretty well. And the shields are starting to be knocked down here by the disruptor fire, and Carlitos doesn't have anything to stop the disruptor at this point. It's just going to have its way with his base. So lots of damage being done by it. Actually, the Cybern disruptor might be the best. The Cybern already might be the best one to have in this situation, because you are facing Cybern shields, so what you want is rapid fire to take them down quickly, because Cybern shields are awful. And this is just getting ever closer. Carlitos takes a shot to the face. Takes a lot of damage there. So earlier I thought Carlitos had it won on so many occasions. The spider, the megalith, the bricks, the strap armors. But now he's losing his base to a T3 Arty installation after minute 51. I don't know if this game will go under the epic category, but it certainly could. It's not that epic though. It's just very long. And now this might be a last ditch attempt by Carlitos, and he just hasn't been able to snipe Mr. Smith because of the stealth and cloak. That's actually brilliant. It's been because there's been monkey lords next to him that haven't been able to kill him off because of the stealth and cloak. So very nice from Mr. Smith, although Carlitos really should have finished this a long time ago. Then he could be answering with a little bit of artillery fire of his own. But I think in this situation the disruptor is much better to have because it can actually hit the entire map. The strategic missile defense did go down, but Smith has not launched his nuke yet. Still waiting to kill the last one. It's a good patient play by him. If this Omni goes down, Carlitos will lose vision of the map. And all these bombers are coming in now. And finally Carlitos is able to take out the disruptor. So he will not be nuked for now. This game will still continue, because there still is no one in a clear winning position. Although another disruptor for Smith is on the way. Has he run out of reclaim though? No, he definitely hasn't. There's bricks all over the shop and a spider back here to reclaim. He can also reclaim his old disruptor. Carlitos finally manages to take that out. He's taken a lot of damage to his base. Still can't be nuked though, so he's still in a decent shape. And the score is still almost exactly identical. Just about 40,000 points separating these two after they're both past 1.3 million, which is crazy. About as even of a game as you could possibly have imagined. Now both players are sending spiders at each other, and neither player really has the capacity to stop a spider. So this is going to be interesting. Both players will do damage to each other's bases yet again. Smith is going to have to figure out something fast to deal with the spider which is rolling into his base. And he is attacking Carlitos' base. Carlitos is about to get a Scathis though. That's not going to be able to leave the base though due to this spider coming in. Spider will take out a Scathis with no contest. And has Smith finally run out of Master Reclaim? It looks like he has, because he's reclaimed the last Monkey Lord. And he's now running on a massive deficit. So he had that reclaim and he was able to make the first disruptor, but the second one is taking up all his mass. And I don't see how he's going to stop this. I mean, I really don't. He can bring his ACU back because it's got stealth and cloak to try and overcharge this thing. But this is going to be extremely difficult. We have Cerberus is being spent up, which are somehow missing. Unbelievable. Might get some damage on the spider here from the explosion, but this is not the way you want to do it because you don't want to lose your power. Strap bombers coming in from Carlitos, and if Smith loses the power here, then his stealth and cloak will be ineffective. He's about to be able to overcharge this though, so if he finishes this spider off, the nuke does go down, no more threat there. And spider does go down. We have to check on this spider up here. It hasn't moved into Carlitos' base yet. So a bit more reclaim now for Smith. If he can reclaim those 2 chunks, he might be able to finish this disruptor off and continue his firing on Carlitos' base. But we've got a Scathis now for Carlitos, and it's shooting at this Monkey Lord. Should be shooting at Smith's base now. Unbelievable game here. Now Smith is reclaiming, and he's going to finish off this disruptor most likely in the next minute or so. You see he's got the mass to do it with. And that's how you do it. If you have a lot of reclaim, make something expensive and kill your opponent. Although he tried that with the last disruptor and it didn't work out too well. Should just reclaim this. It would actually be better for him to reclaim it than to build on top of it, which is what he just did. Should have just reclaimed it actually. Would have given him more of a bonus. And now spider on spider fight. Carlitos will win just because he just did some damage there with this with the bombers, and it's going to be some reclaim for Carlitos as the Scathis rolls out. So this is the post-late game stage where anything can happen. And both players have crippled bases pretty much, and now it's going to become a war of artillery as the Scathis moves into position and the disruptor is finished. And the thing about Smith is that he's scouted constantly. He's never stopped scouting, so he knows exactly what's going on. And now that the nuke is gone, cause that's one less thing for Carlitos to worry about. It's always nice. And where is this disruptor shooting? It's shooting sideways at T1 mass points. That's ridiculously wasteful. Shoot it at the base where it's actually going to do something. Maybe kill this off, or just try and kill off some of the power. Because all this power is really what's kept Carlitos in this game. Well, that of course, because it's power, and without power you're not in the game, so that was pretty much a redundant statement. Now it finally has been switched. Let's take a look at Smith's view to see what he's shooting at. Shooting at the Scathis might actually be a good move here because he can do it. Now he's going to see some targets. A Soul Ripper now started for Carlitos. He's finally going to try to make his air power count. But now Strap Bombers going after the power. And they're going to get massacred by the SAMs once again. So still Carlitos unable to make any progress. And if both disruptors get online, there is some reclaim here. You can reclaim this T3 power and that one as well. If he reclaims those, he'll be able to finish off the disruptor, I think. And if he finishes that, he will be in a very good shape because 2 disruptors is very hard to counter. Now we've got shells flying back and forth as the Scathis and the disruptors square off here. The Scathis, Smith hasn't really had to put up with any pressure on his base other than the strap bombing runs. And this is going to be very painful for him to deal with these Scathi. Is Scathi the word? No, because it's just one. It's a Scathis. Plural would be Scathi though, I think, because Scathis isn't a word. So what are the players going to do now is the question. There's going to be a war of artillery here, and Smith has to be careful not to stand too close to stuff that's getting hit, because even though he can't be hit directly, he could be hit indirectly, if you know what I mean. If it hits the power gen or something and kills him in the process. He just needs to finish that off. It's so close. Just 100 more HP. Stealth fields now for Smith. That's not going to work once he gets scouted. But with 2 disruptors for Smith and a Scathis for Carlitos, that might actually be kind of close. Strap Bomber's trying to make the difference here, going after the shield, not quite making it, landing on the air factory, actually doing some damage there. Smith is losing his entire base here, but he is going to be shooting back with some real power. Now the question is, can Smith take out this Scathis without losing his entire base? So with both disruptors firing at the Scathis, he should be able to take it out. Carlitos is trying to keep this shield up with engineer assisting. I'm not really sure how that works. It might even be a bug, but I haven't been able to figure that out in a few years of playing this game. And now this is very bad for Smith. If he loses this, he's going to be down to just 1 disruptor with T1 shields around it. And somehow this isn't dead yet. Shields being spammed for Carlitos, so playing very well at this point in time. This goes down, just 1 artillery piece left for Smith. So coming up to an hour now, and it looks to be as if Carlitos has won this game, although we We have said that so many times that I'm hesitant about that. And the shields have gone down here. If an artillery shell lands, which it is going to, shields are down. This Scathis is very vulnerable here. It's going to have to move. If it weren't for the horrible inaccuracy of the Cybern shells, this Scathis could have been dead. But at least it's going to alleviate some of the pressure on Smith's base for a little bit. The Scathis can't shoot while moving. He should take this opportunity to land a few shots on Carlitos' base. Just ridiculous amounts of damage on Smith's base, and he somehow survives, making another Scathis now. And there's not really any reclaim to power him because he can't reclaim his old structure. It's all been pulverized into the ground. He can reclaim the nuke and the P-Gen, but then he's going to be out of mass. He's got some T3 mexes down here. He can reclaim that as well. There's also quite a few T3 bombers to reclaim, but that's not enough mass to power a Scathis building. And some shells now landing in Carlitos' base, but it's not going to work in time because the Scathis is now shooting for Carlitos. It's shooting back at Smith's base. Now it can probably hit all the way in here. And now we've got two spiders on the side here for Carlitos, lots of bricks, strap bombers. He's got total map control. Although, arguably at this stage, map control is pretty meaningless. Shells from the Scathis are now starting to land. If this Scathis and the Disruptor go down, it's over, for sure. Smith finally calls it GG. It's been GG for a while. Well, actually it hasn't. It's been extremely even. But, now it's over. Smith's incredible luck continues on 70 HP with this Disruptor. 79. Now it has finally gone down, and spiders coming in, air control. He's going to lose all his power, which will make his cloak ineffective, and then that will be GG as Carlitos finds a way to kill him. So, knocking this up to +2 for the end of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I know I definitely did, and now it's going to be some cinema as we wait until this game is over. Looks like Smith is going to try to survive as long as possible. So an hour and 2 minutes is pretty good for a ranked game. And actually, if the cloak still works, might get stepped on here though. Does he have energy storage though? He has lost his power though. And now he is getting targeted because the cloak does not work anymore. Yeah, Smith cannot power his cloak. And I'm waiting for Carlitos to notice him. Actually, somehow, still has the power to keep his cloak alive. Won't be for long though. As I'm just waiting for Carlitos to be able to target him down. Once this P-Gen goes down, for sure he's going to be spotted. There he is. The one on and off. And now Smith is fully visible. And Carlitos is in position to just win. So well played, Carlitos. I thought Smith had it at the beginning. And Carlitos finally gets the win that he could have won a long time ago. An hour and 4 minutes. And I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video and if you like Supreme Commander in general. So hopefully I can make more videos either today or this week. So see you next time.